Carnivore-ish. Perhaps you're exploring the carnivore lifestyle, carnivore curious, and wondering if it might be a fit for you. In today's video, I want to chat with you a little bit about some ways to ease into carnivore without full on committing and what it means to be carnivore-ish. I'm Jackie Ulmer. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Check out my playlist here on YouTube at the Lower Toxic Life channel on carnivore, keto, and my experience with this at age 60. All right, so there's a lot of questions out there. There's a lot of marketing and myths and facts and settled science, whatever that means, and opinions about carnivore, vegan, paleo, keto, all the different diet lifestyles that are out there. And as I've shared before, you have to do you. You have to be willing to body hack and biohack your own self to determine what's going to be a fit for you. If you haven't watched my video, that is actually the one right before this on how to get started with carnivore, be sure that you watch that one after this one, and it's on the playlist. The biggest thing is, first and foremost, to know why you even want to explore this. Are you having weight issues? Are you having chronic illness issues? Are you just curious? It doesn't really matter what the reason is, except to you. It's important to understand why you want to do this. And so one of the things that I really want to encourage you to think about in the carnivore-ish phase of things is easing into it very, very slowly. If you're just curious and you're not drastically sick and been advised by your doctor to do this, which, by the way, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I'm an integrative nutrition coach, and I've body hacked and biohacked myself my entire life. I've always been fascinated with health, nutrition, wellness, living in alignment with nature, and staying functionally fit. So that's kind of my concepts behind all of that. So one way to get started is to first, again, determine what your reason why is for doing this, and then begin to look at your traditional eating habits, everything from what you eat to when you eat, how intentional you are with your eating, and honestly, how you feel 30 minutes after a meal, 2 to 3 hours after a meal, how's your sleep, and then how you feel the next day, because your body is constantly talking to you, and it talks to you through indigestion, acid reflux, bloating, inflammation, restless nights, poor sleep. All of those are signals from your body that something isn't quite right. We're born, for most of us anyway, we're born and we are perfectly capable of sleeping through the night, at least past the baby stage, digesting our food, all of that. Most of us are born with the perfect setup, if you will, to process this thing called life. And we get out of whack through so many different things, which is an entirely different video. But it's so important to note that you have what you need within you. And so when your body is speaking to you, most often we've been taught to either disregard it, pop a pill for that, swallow a liquid, do something outside of just really paying attention and saying, why is my body doing this? I like to look at those cues my body gives me as the check engine light that comes on in your car, or some type of notification, a warning light that your car will give you when you're low on gas, low on oil, have some other issues. We tend to pay attention to those with our car, but most often we don't with our body. So determine your why, and then from there, get yourself started. I shared on that video on the beginner's guide, start with maybe eating traditionally what you eat for breakfast. I've said before, if you're going to still eat carbs, ideally eat them earlier in the day when your body is in motion and using that type of fresh fuel, if you will, to power the body and do all the different things that the body needs. And of course, your brain runs on glucose, and carbohydrates do provide that, although the paleo carnivore lifestyle will as well. That's another topic. But if you're going to eat carbs, start with those in the morning. So perhaps ease yourself into, I mentioned on the other video, a half a cup of blueberries and some Greek yogurt. Sprinkle it with cinnamon. If you like cereal typically or granola, consider using my seed cycling recipe that I have on the guide. In fact, you can go to recipes.lowertoxiclife.com. You'll find a search box there. You can type in anything that you want, including chia seeds, seed cycling, paleo, carnivore, different things like that. And you will find different recipes that are on there for these specific things. But start slowly. And even if you decide that this lifestyle is 100% for you or mostly for you, it's okay to be carnivore-ish, meaning perfection is not our goal. Okay, perfection is not our goal. I love to live by the 80-20 rule. I typically tend to be, now that I've conditioned myself and disciplined myself, more of a 90-10 girl. But you have to do you. And it's okay to be carnivore-ish, where you're easing into it, where you understand the true benefits nutritionally for your body of a healthy, organic, ideally more clean style of animal protein. Healthy fish, wild caught salmon is one of my favorites. Anything wild caught that's less processed, less chemically processed. You don't typically want to do farm raised fish. If that's what you got, that's what you got. And I'm not going to tell you to, go eat that highly processed, packaged in plastic burrito that's been on the shelf for 2 years. I certainly believe that a farm raised piece of salmon is still healthier for you than that, prepackaged burrito that's got all kinds of chemicals and preservatives and all of that inside of it. So I'm certainly thinking that's a thing. But begin to ease in and develop your own carnivore-ish lifestyle. If that means every other day you eat carnivore, that's fantastic. You will begin to understand the cues that your body is giving you. If you find that your skin improves, that your joint issues get better, you lose some weight, whatever, believe me, all of those cues that your body is giving you is going to be enough for you to decide, yes, I'm sticking to this lifestyle. And when we experience those positive benefits, it helps us factor in the way that we want to eat and those foods that allow us to feel better and crowd out those bad boys, if you will, of the ultra processed, the high fructose corn syrup, the highly preservative, multi-ingredient type foods. So that's what I mean by carnivore-ish. Please drop me a comment below and let me know, have you tried carnivore? Are you exploring it? Are you carnivore curious and just wondering what that lifestyle might mean for you? Again, grab my guide at lowertoxiclife.com that has how to read labels and a lot of prompts and different things for you to live that healthier, back to nature, back to the paleo version of how we came into life on this earth, and how, in my mind anyway, best gets us ready to live fully functional to 100 and beyond. I'm Jackie Elmer. Thanks for spending this time here with me today as we explore carnivore-ish.